of Africa. I love this continent of Africa is beautiful, but you're talking about tracking your development in Africa, tracking what you do. As a matter of fact, in the next 10, 15 years, if you don't track yourself, you will feel ordinary. You will feel you have not done anything. You will be running against yourself, not knowing that you have done so much. The idea of not recognizing and appreciating your efforts is a killer of drive. It kills drives. So for you to be able to understand the fact that little things you do, if you track them and document them, to track, you must be able to do 3 critical things. You must track your events. Track your events. Any event like this you're attending, track it, put the date. How many of you have Google Calendar? Yeah. Yeah. Log it in. Leave it. Anytime you pull it up, it will show you the date, the venue, the location, the program you attended. Track your events. Second thing, track your newly acquired skill. Track your newly acquired. Some of us here are brilliant speakers, but probably you have not been able to know that you can do very well in speaking. If you have been able to mentor, what does it take to be a mentor? Who is a mentor? A mentor is a coach. Is he a coach? A mentor is an advisor. He could be a leader. He could be a leader. How many of us are mentors? How many of us have advised somebody before? So why didn't you raise your hand when I say if you're a mentor? That's what I mean by tracking. Track the little things you do that you don't think they matter. By the time you document the little things you do, and you see some people, they write, they are a life coach, they are meant, you'll be looking at them as if they fell from the skies. But you probably is a better life coach. Better life coach and better person who probably will do a lot better. If you don't say, here I am, nobody will say, there you are. So the concept of tracking means you track your events, you track your skills, newly acquired skills. We are talking about event is one of these one we are here now. Skill is new things you have been able to acquire. Most of us here are very, very sound when it comes to making presentations. Do you know most people, biography is because they are public speakers. Public speakers, that's what they say they are. And you don't doubt them. I'm just here to bring to you personal experience, more or less. One of the very first times I had the opportunity to reckon with the fact that I'm a public speaker was in Cape Town. How many of us know where Cape Town is? It's in South Africa. Cape Town, as at 2020, was the 4th most beautiful city in the world. 4th. And Cape Town happens to be where? In Africa. But do you know, the world do not mention Cape Town. Cape Town has the complete 4 seasons. They have the autumn, they have the summer, they have it completely, and it's practically Europe in Africa. We went for a session like this. I was a key speaker together with one Peter from Kenya and one Danzler from Philadelphia. 3 of us who were speaking. And in that particular program, never had I, as a person, been aware of the fact that you can make impact at that national and international scale. And after the session, for the first time, that was what gave me the invitation I had to begin to visit the US for speaking engagements. So for the fact that you track, what do I say you track first? Events. Secondly, newly acquired skill. There is the third one. location. Track your locations. Most of you may probably have not traveled wide, but you have moved to some places. Can you remember any very striking tourist place you have visited, tourist location, or probably in Africa, any place that strikes, that has some tourism potentials, any city like that? Do you know we have a place like that in Imo? How many of you have heard Abadaba Lake before? Have you had the Obuni Cave in Enugu? Have you been to Calabar, the Obudu Cartoon Ranch? Fantastic tracking of what you have done. If you have visited these areas, if you're writing a resume that has to do with culture, if you're writing a resume that has to do with locations, most people visit there and they go. Nobody makes mention of it anywhere. But those visitations adds a whole lot to your CV. If you locate where you have been, that is very important that some people haven't been, it is indeed an added bonus to you sometime in future. It may not be now, but it's important you begin to track. I enjoyed my sister on CSR. Sound. Please clap for her. I love her. She did brilliantly well. One of the things that makes you strong is the capacity to get the attention of your audience. If you must be a public speaker, you must have the capacity to get somebody's attention. It's not a common thing to attract attention. It's been proved that listening is more difficult than saying. In the art of listening, you could be distracted by what you see. Thank you. You could be distracted by what you see. But in the art of visualization, your attention is a little bit strong. Your attention is a little bit strong. Please permit me. We had a little mix-up. I had a different slide, but I want to do this. I want to do this. I don't know if somebody will see it. I want you to see. I just want to leave it at track. At track. You track skill. You track location. What's the third thing I say you should track? Events. I want to leave it there, and I'll go there again. There are how many countries in the world? Anybody knows? So many. Okay, how many do we have in Africa? How many do we have in Africa? We have 55. We have 55. If you like, you can Google. Yeah, but there was a new country that was added last year. Yes, 100. Yeah, 195. And it's massive. How many of you have been to 2 countries? 2. Fantastic. Nigeria is 1, don't forget. Beautiful. 3. Fantastic. Don't worry. I know you're going to have it in your. I'm going somewhere. 4. 5. You've been to 5? Okay, 4. 6, 7, 8. Okay. Well, let me not bother. I've been to 31. I've been to 31. And how was it possible? It started in a day. I got up and I told myself that I'm going to conquer the world. I'm here to lead us to track, but to use my personal experience to bring Africa closer and then to push it out to you. Somebody who is here today One of the most beautiful cities I have been to Africa is Zanzibar. Zanzibar is in Tanzania. It's in Tanzania. If you visit that city, you will celebrate Africa. You will celebrate Africa. Today, Tanzania and Zanzibar, the latest Nobel laureate is from Zanzibar. Literature, actually. There are two winners of 2021 literature prize, Nobel laureates. One of them is from Tanzania and is from Zanzibar. They have a female president in Tanzania. I'm sure you're aware. A female president in Tanzania. The mileage that Africa is achieving is very, very significant. That most of us that are tracking African development tomorrow, somebody's antecedents will also be tracked, like you're here now. Will it shock you that if they check what you have been able to achieve as a young man, you have done so much? How do I mean? Firstly, you're an African. Do you need further qualifications because isn't that enough qualification? Secondly, you're a Nigerian. Let me tell you, somebody said if you went for an interview and they ask you your qualification, tell them you're a Nigerian. Being a Nigerian is one of the best qualifications you can have. Why? Nigeria today, if you survive in Nigeria, you are going to survive anywhere in the world. You will survive anywhere in the world. It's in Nigeria that you pick your bills and the government picks the tax. It's in Nigeria that certain things that do not matters. The level of pressure in the country is enough to toughen even the feeblest of the mind. Some people get insulted. I have witnessed a near suicide scene in London. A lady was almost jumping into the train. Why? She was insulted by another lady. Insult a Nigerian. Insult a Nigerian. He or she will give it back to you full dose. Full dose. You don't kill yourself because somebody insulted you. Never. Never. And never. Invariably, the best and the most critical thing you can do for yourself is to remind yourself that you are an African. You are wired by the divinity to excel. Excel. And nothing can take that away from you. Because in the nearest future, the people that are going to be very critically in charge of sectors, check them today, they have started emerging, are people that have passed through the crucible, passed through the fire. Yesterday, the world's richest man emerged. Who is that? The richest person in the world. He's been there. But yesterday, he also overtook Elon Musk. Elon Musk. He overtook. In fact, his combined total net worth is twice that of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Twice that of Bill Gates. He's worth $214 billion. And when you talk about the earth, Elon Musk is tired of the pollution we are discussing here. He's tired of the environmental challenges we have, his preoccupation is to migrate to the Mars. He wants to go and make Mars habitable for mankind. And that is his project. He owns the SpaceX. The SpaceX is responsible for the transformation of the Mars to another. I don't know whether he's going to succeed. Congratulations for him, whether he will succeed. But you can imagine when people have developed to the point that they want to make another planet habitable. Habitable. Because the ones we have here are polluted. And somebody is no more comfortable with inhaling this air that me and you enjoy. What he wants to do is to migrate to Mars. As a matter of fact, he's the owner of Tesla. How many of us know Tesla, the electric car, which you also used in the illustration? That electric vehicle, he says he wants to have his own charging, maybe company, let me use the word. If not a company, but a system. There is one in Ibadan. It's trending on social media. There is a car in Ibadan, manufactured in Nigeria, and is electric. It's electric. It has been test run. You open the bonnet, you don't see nothing. No engine. It has a port for charging. It's been used all over the globe, as a matter of fact. Tesla is a hybrid. They're the first one that built electric cars. And those electric cars are meant to eliminate the pollution that the fossil fuels inject in the society. And that was a resounding success. And that was why he was able. Most of you here probably may be doing Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. You know, he had to fly a coin because of his capacity he did. And at the end of the day, he was able to, for the first time, crash Bitcoin from where it was, over $40-something, $50-something $1,000 to $30-something. That was early this year, before it picks up again. So for every single person who is here, the entire continent of Africa is programmed to raise very enterprising young men and women that has the capacity to move. I attended a session in Addis Ababa. Let me give you this experience. Addis Ababa is where? In Ethiopia. As a matter of fact, if there is anything anybody can do for himself or herself, begin to dream movement. Dream movement. It's not a crime. Dream movement. You're going to have tons of experience that reading cannot give you if you move. If you cannot move internationally, try and move domestically. Try and move locally. But move. By all means, be a journey walker. By all means, do what? Walk. Move. Don't be stagnant. Don't stay one place. Don't. We had a session in Addis Ababa. Addis Ababa is in Ethiopia. And that session was critically dominated by Europeans. Of course, you know, the African Union headquarters in Addis. There was a session and Europeans came. And in that, I actually went with another African. Incidentally, he's from Cameroon. And we went for that particular session in Addis. And the best presentation that happened in that session was from a Kenyan. I'm sure you know that Kenyans are brilliant. They're very brilliant, but not more brilliant than Nigeria. We're celebrating the African space, and we're celebrating the mileages that we have had in Africa. The Kenyan was able to make that presentation that at the end of the day, he was called up, and every European that was there came out for a handshake and a photo shoot. And I looked at the young man, less than 28, very hot, very sound. I was pretty a young person. What I'm telling you is over 15 years. And I looked at the young man and I saw the pride of Africa. I saw the fact that Africa was able to intimidate and daze Europeans that had always felt that the onus and the monopoly of wisdom and knowledge belongs to them. And it brought that attention to us that if you belong to the stock called the African, you have an innate and ingrained ability to do things that people wonder how it is done. But the problem is, are you tracking your development? Track your development. If you are going to school, if you are attending seminars, if you are attending courses, what do I say? Track your what? Track your development. Track your development. How many of you had heard about Sally? The girl they discovered from Owerri that sang on, and it went viral. It went viral. Why was she discovered? Because she had what? A skill. Track your skill. She had what? A skill. Up until that time, she was raw. She was unknown. She was undiscovered. But she had a skill. And that skill, when it came to the fore, it led to the discovery of what was in her. And today, where is she? Most of you don't know. She's no more around here. She's been taken. And as a matter of fact, Rihanna DM'd her for the first time, a local girl. Christian Amanpour has invited her for an interview. I don't know if she has attended. I don't know. Why? Because of the skill. Do you have a skill as an African? You do have a skill. What is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to discover the skill and do this critical aspect of nurturing that skill and raising it up. As a matter of fact, what will take you to where you are going to be in the next 10 years is a component of your skill. John Maxwell made a statement. He said, between now and the next 10 years, you're going to be the same person, except for two factors. Number one, the books you read. Number two, the people you meet. Remove these two things from you. Frankly speaking, there may not be much change in your life between now and the next 10 years. But put these two things in your life. I don't know the books you're reading now. I feel bad. I feel bad that though we read, but I know the reading culture is on a fast decline. When I say reading culture, I don't mean the conventional reading of books. Even what we read here, do we know we don't read here? We entertain ourselves here. But it is important that we begin to know that if we must grow and begin to drive enterprises and begin to be reckoned with, you must not play with these two factors. The books you read, offline or online. When he wrote this thing, online reading was not predominant. Online or offline. And the people you relate with and the people you meet. If you make up your mind on these two important aspects, chances are high that you as a person, you are certainly going to be somewhere you have never dreamt that you're going to be. But one thing is very important. Track your location. Where are you now? Can somebody answer me? Where are you now? It's simple but complex. So you're in a summit. Beautiful. Any other answer? Somebody said Gold Crown. Is it not correct? Beautiful. He's in Gold Crown Hotel in Port Harcourt Road. What are you doing? Attending what? A summit. Attending a summit. In the next 5 years, what we are doing here today will give somebody a position. I'm not prophesying. But there's nothing wrong if you take it. There's nothing wrong if you take it. But it's important you begin to track your location, track where you are per time. Be a little bit conscious. Be conscious deliberately, intentionally. Calm down. Calm down. The world have changed. The world have changed. My brother made mention that we don't have the concept of working hard is a little much more relegating to the background. What people do today is that they work what? Smart. They work smart. They work very smart. Because the smarter you are today, the more you are going to achieve in future. So what is happening here is certainly going to open up somebody's eyes so that we understand that when we make mention of the Africa and its potentials and some of the things that it has in stock, it is critically important that any young African, and I'm sure most people who are here are young, very, very young, and that places you at an advantage position. Sometimes I look at myself and say, I wish I can rewind the hands of the clock. There has been some critical opportunities missed. There has been some things I, as a person, ought to have done better. Probably because this type of forum were not available. We were not opportune to engage in these types of forum. We took things for granted that made some people at my age today probably still where they are. But what a generation we have today, what a harvest of information that can leapfrog somebody from where you are to another realm, only if you can track your dealings. The third area I want you to track, that's why I wanted to give to you, is your financial transactions. Financial transactions. This is where I'm going to cap it, but be very attentive here. Be very attentive here. Do we have a millionaire here? Beautiful. You know, some people didn't raise their hands because they thought millions is in naira and kobo. Every single person who is here is a millionaire, potential in nature, and some are actual. If you track your expenses for 1 year, if you track your expenses for 1 year, will you be scared of the million? So why didn't you raise your hands when I say you're a millionaire? The reason why most people start businesses and they don't go far is that they don't track their finances. Let me tell you, most people receive money and they spend money. It's marks of lack of financial intelligence to spend money that came into you. Are they going to assess you on how you appear? They cannot assess you on the iPhone 13 you have in your hands. They will not. They will ask you your account number. If you get your account number, they are not interested in your balance. Your balance is not important. As a matter of fact, it could be zero balance. What are they looking for? Activity. Activity. Some people, when they want to travel, they go and borrow money and dump in the account and print the statement and go to embassy. You are like the proverbial ostrich that bury the head and refuses to acknowledge that the other parts of the body is still outside. They will laugh at you because there is no, somebody will have from January to October, there is no 20,000 movement in account. But because you are going to interview, and all of a sudden by November, boom, your account has 700,000. Probably the person may also have been using money, but because of lack of tracking of your finances, it has provided a loophole for that your statement to be faulted. Tell me the man that will get a facility from a bank, and I will tell you a man who is very strong in making good use of your bank account. It's easier today. You don't need to go to bank. You have your app. You transfer money. You receive money. But please, if you must run a company today in Africa, if you must develop any enterprise today, don't forget that you have to prove your financial capacity. Can you run more than 2 companies as somebody under 20? Yes. Can you run more than 5 companies as somebody under 20? Yes. What is a company? A company is not a structure. A company is not a table. A company is an idea that is fleshed up and given a document. If you go to CAC today, Corporate Affairs Commission, somebody here today can conveniently, before the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, become an MDCEO recognized by Nigeria by doing something, registering a business name. Business name. Don't bother about the money. By so doing, you have acquired a new status. We are talking about tracking your growth. Don't forget. How many of us have a company here today? Let me give you an assignment. After now, develop your business name as an African that has knowledge and wisdom. But there is some other thing that we have that is scarce overseas. It's called native intelligence. It's scarce. They don't have it. There's no how, you can't buy it and you can't study it in the school. It's called, if the baptismal name is street sense. Street sense. That is the baptismal name. Register a company today, and if after you have registered that company, go and bring out your CV and put there MDCEO of that company. Is anybody going to contest that? You have tracked your growth, and you begin to walk by that very key concept that you have a business name. Your finances are supposed not to leak out of your records. Don't allow them. Your uncle gives you money, and somebody goes straight and gets a gadget. Do you know that if you leave the money in the account, probably I'm not talking about interest, forget about that, it doesn't make sense. Somebody don't think I'm talking about interest. No, but it's still not bad. It depends on the volume you're doing. If you get, maybe for the government people, maybe let me give you information. Let me give you an information. Imo State receives nothing less than close to 4 billion from the Federation account every month. 4 billion minimum, apart from other sources. And that 4 billion, if it lands the state account and there is delay of payment of salary for 1 month, somebody had made 250 million. Didn't steal the money. It was only street sense. And before the heat of not payment of salary will come, you will start to receive back your money. You will start to receive your money. That is how people use, we call it OPM. What is OPM? Other people's money. Other people's money. That OPM makes every other people's money to become part of your money, in quote, I don't want to say legally, but streetwisely. Streetwisely. Don't allow what you do with finances to escape. We are still in the age of banking, but let me tell you, in the next 10 years, the banking will be useless. Most of you that are trying to get work in the bank, God bless you. God bless you. The next 10 years, the bank will be trying to look for people that will be coming to the banking halls. How many of you know what we call fintechs? Fintechs. Fintechs is financial technology. That is the future of banking. That's the future of banking. You are here to track your growth and your development. One thing you must know after you leave here is that you are qualified to be an MD CEO. And I'm here to catalyze us on the essence of tracking your growth, tracking your development, and tracking your skill and your events. If you live here, and after all this tracking, the key experience that you are going to get out of this place is the capacity to judiciously deploy the knowledge gathered from here to make sure that you add one more quality and qualification to your CV, apart from the fact that you have attended this particular program, which has entered your CV. Don't forget it. The next thing is the fallout of this program, which is the fact that you're coming out of this program as an MD, CEO of a company that you are going to birth. Let me tell you, if you check your recharge money for 1 month, I never knew. I went to my MTN app and I was checking. I stumbled. Let me not say I deliberately, yes. I stumbled upon the fact that my monthly airtime and data consumption, I looked at it and I considered it a sin. What? What's going on? It is not bad, but I never knew it was that high. I never knew it was that high because there is a record. They were tracking my activity, and that tracking came. Anybody who wants to go far tomorrow, track where you're coming from, track where you're going, and then track your experiences. Don't leave it to chance. Somebody pulled out the profile of Vice President Yemi Osibanjo at that 2015 elections, and they were comparing it with that of P2B. And you will see men that have been tracking them. Don't see yourself today. See yourself in the next 5 years, in the next 4 years, in the next 10 years. What can be found in your system that can enable you be reckoned with as somebody? And one of them is this thing that we are doing here today. So I want you to be able to know that besides your skill, your location, your events, you have a responsibility to track and make sure that any form of finances that generates your way get tracked via your account. Keep it. If you don't have, banks are looking for people to give 100,000, no collateral. No collateral. How much does it take to register a company, business name? 10,000. Well, plus or minus. There are some hidden charges. 10,000. And have somebody here spent 10,000 since last 2 months? On what? Airtime? Recharge card? Shawarma? Fantastic. Yes, entertainment. But do you know that somebody here is obvious that you may not have known that you could comfortably use that same amount and upgrade your CV by registering a company and let the Federal Republic, I don't mean Nigeria, if you call it Nigeria, it looks weak. We call it the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Know that your company is captured in the database, that it can make you become somebody who can be quoted in your CV as a CEO, as an MD. Track your development. If you track it very well, you are going to become somebody who will be surprised at your CV like I was at mine. I was at mine. By the grace of God, how many of you know Miles Monroe? of blessed memory. Miles Monroe has an international personality status in the United Nations. He is qualified to stand as a single person observer in the sessions of the United Nations. He has been able to grow himself out of a person to an entity. And the moment you are no more a person, you are a personality in an entity. That's what Miles Monroe was. And because he was that, Miles Monroe has the capacity to visit the United Nations and be admitted as an entity. Isn't that a good achievement? How did he do it? He tracked. He was tracking his speaking sessions. He holds sessions with ministers. He holds sessions with everybody and he tracks it. If you are able to impart and speak to 2, 3, 4, 5 international bodies that shape the times and events of that nation, are you a person? You are a personality. You are an entity. That was why, because he could have done all those things without tracking them. Will it amount to anything? No. So as we are here in Urbanize Africa today, one of the beautiful things of Africa that we have to get out of this session is that somebody here today will begin to track your skill, check it very well. There are some skills you don't know you have. Begin to harvest them. Track your location wherever you have gone. Very important. Thank God for Facebook. You know, Facebook gives you the opportunity to broadcast your location, places you have been. As we are here in Gold Crown, you can do that, and they know you're on Gold Crown. Track the events you are here now, and finally track your finances. If you keep consistently doing this, in the next 10 years, I'm telling you, somebody here will have a rich dossier that can make an impact if presented, and that can lead you to a higher level that you may not know you have gone. If there is nothing you are not going out here with today, I'm sure you've gone with so many things. Understand that you are living here somebody that is no more the person that came here, but another higher person by reason of the knowledge you have gotten here today. One more time, I want to thank you for listening to me. Pardon me for my slide that was not there. Thank you.